Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Megan and this is Coffee and PT. Welcome. If you guys are new here, hi, and make sure you guys like and subscribe to my channel to get more content. I post every Tuesdays at 7 o'clock and occasionally on Sundays if I feel like it. So, with that being said, today's video, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be talking about different journal topics and the basics of journaling. Okay, so first things first, when you are starting a journal, you need to think about a few things. First, what are you going to do with this journal? Do you want to write about your life, write about your day-to-day activities? Do you want to just like make it a random journal that you keep lists in, or random poetry that you think of, or like, oh, don't forget this grocery stuff that I have to get today? Do you want to make a personal finance journal? I'm actually going to be making a video specifically highlighting personal finance and tracking your own things through a journal, so stay tuned. But you have to really think about what you want your journal to be. Now, that being said, my journal, my personal journal, this one that everyone's seen, is just a random journal, has pictures in it. I talk about my day-to-day activities. I keep lists in here. This is date ideas. I write entries, and so I call mine a bullet journal, but I know for a fact that there are so many other ways that you can make a bullet journal, so I just call it my journal. So, now with all of that being said and put out on the forefront, I'm going to be talking about some of my personal journals that I have kept. There are three different types of journals that I personally use. But I'm gonna be touching on a couple different ideas when I'm talking about each of those. First and foremost is my journal. My journal. Now, for my journal, I do a couple things. First, I start the month out with a calendar. And with that, I just put all of the little dates. I have like tests, workout, my band rehearsals, birthdays, things going on, random like things that I want to remember. So next I have my lists. And with every list, I have a list for every single day. So that being said, each list has, I make the list after every day. Now, sometimes I fall behind, but I usually use a different journal to keep track of stuff. Stay tuned. Anyways, I make a list after every day, and basically, I do this because I don't want to write a full page worth of stuff for every day. Some days I just don't do much. So, I keep a list for every single day because I like being able to look back and say, what did I do that day? Like, what happened? Because my memory sucks, and I'm deathly afraid of forgetting. Like, I don't want to forget anything. I can't forget anything. Like, I need to remember, so I keep a journal. So, for example, for this one, it was September 2nd. Type letters and mail them. Watch TV and clean room. Journal and FaceTime Josh. Go to the swim club with Mom, Dad, and Haley. Pick up Sophie from friend's birthday party. Dinner, shower, and watch Still Game. Now, that was not a very eventful day, but now I know what I did that day. And then there's like other things that I did. So basically I keep a general list of what I do. Now that was a weekend, but like for a school day, I also put like school, and then I put what my schedule was that day. So like we do a half block schedule. So if it's like a 4-bell day, then I'll put school - 4-bell day, because like, I don't know, I like to keep track of that. So that's also in my lists. Now, then I have my next section, which is my entries. Now I used to try to write every single day, especially like if I'm in like a really bad mood, or like something happened that day, or like I just wasn't in the right mindset, or even if it was a great day. I like to keep track of like big moments in my life, like how I feel, so that I can at least look back on them and like why I felt that way. So that was really important to me too. Now, obviously that's not all I have in this journal. As you can see, I had pictures and stuff too. So for example, I put like little knickknacks in there. So this is one of my favorite pages. It's like at the very beginning of my journal. I typed these little things out. It's the faces of the moon, and then I drew the little art. So like that kind of stuff I find on like Pinterest or VSco. But I also like add that in too, and then I also like add little quotes. I change up my font, and stuff like that. Not font, my handwriting. I print out little pictures that I think that are cool, and then on top of that I have pictures like my friends and I put little captions next to them. So that's pretty much what I have in my journal. I do keep like quotes and things, poetry, little like cute things that I see on like Instagram or Pinterest. Pinterest will be your best friend if you're looking for any sort of inspirational quote, and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what I have in this journal specifically. I keep like music, like my playlist ideas in there. I save cutouts. This was actually from one of those, I forget what they're called, but like the cardboard little cup holder thing that they give you when your coffee's hot. That was from that, and I cut it out because it's the logo of the shop I went to. This little thing was from Chopstick, like, not Chopstick, yeah, wait. No, it was from a paper menu that they gave you. So I cut it out. It's the name of the restaurant. So cool. You can pretty much save anything and put it in your journal. I saved this little Chipotle gift card holder I found at like the where you check out, the cash register, and then I kept movie tickets from that day in there. So like, you just have to be creative. Like, I save so much stuff just in case I want to put it in here. I keep chopstick wrappers. Like, this is a chopstick wrapper that I kept in there. This is a business card from Zundo downtown. And then I have little stickers that I've gotten over the years. This was a Hollister sticker that I got shopping one time, but pretty much I just save stuff and put it in here if I feel like it. And then on top of that, I still have more pictures and stuff that I just did. So, that being said, you can pretty much keep anything in here. I have my YouTube ideas. These are sticky notes, and like, you just can make it cute. Make your journal fit your lifestyle. Make it fit what you want to make it. I don't want to sound like I'm yelling at you, but like, literally put stuff in your journal that you want to look back on and be like, wow, I did that. Or, wow, that was an amazing day. You can draw. I put like some sketches in here. Like, pretty much whatever you want your journal to be, that's what this journal is to me. I just put anything in there that I'm thinking. It can be random thought that like, hey, I just thought like I really want to go to this place. Maybe bucket list ideas, stuff like that. But pretty much that's what I think of when I think of bullet journal, is like a giant collage of your life for that time. Now, moving on to my next type of journal. So I am not going to talk about this too much in depth, but next I have my personal finance journal. Now, I can show you this because I don't have like any of my personal information in it, because I don't like keeping stuff in there that people are going to take, but we're going to move on to this, and I'm actually just going to flip through it really quickly because I'm going to talk about it in the next video. Basically, what I keep in this journal, I actually started this relatively recently. I call it my checking account tracker. I'm going to touch on that later in the next video, but for this video, basically all I'm going to say is that I keep track of every single day that I work, the hours that I work, and how much my gross pay would be for that one shift, just so I can have a general idea of like how much I should be making during my next paycheck. I am going to talk about that a little bit more in depth in my next video, so stay tuned. I've gotten a lot of feedback on this from my friends. Kristen, thank you. I love you. She's my coworker. She's the best. So, anyways. But, I will talk about this later. Very helpful, especially like now that I opened a checking account. Like, I used to just have my savings account. I did have a checking account, but I never actually worried about it. It was just like because I worked at the YMCA as a lifeguard and I never really like took money out of it. But now that I actually have my own debit card, I figure that it would be a great idea to start keeping track of like my spending and how much I'm making. So I'll give you more personal finance tips in my next video when I talk about that. And lastly, what I wanted to talk about is my junk journals. They are probably the most underrated type of journal ever. So, let me explain. This journal I got from Target. I had planned to use it as a bullet journal at some point. So for example, I put my name on the front like I do with every journal. And then I decided that I wasn't going to use it for bullet journaling, and that instead I was going to use it to write quotes. Ignore this page. This is where I started. I started writing quotes in it. I was like, oh, Pinterest. I'm going to write quotes. The reason why I started writing quotes in this one is because I filled up this journal with quotes. This was from all the way in 2016. I started this journal. I wrote my own kind of poetry in it. It's really bad. I'm not sharing it. But basically, I filled up this entire journal with quotes. So I thought I was going to do it again. So I started filling it with quotes. And I kept writing it with quotes up until like the pages are numbered. So let me see. Page 30. And then it turned into a junk journal because I figured I don't want to do that anymore. So then I used the first page to do what I do in this journal now. I put my lists, when I don't have this journal on hand or if I don't have my pen on hand, I just write it in here now I use this one. But this is what I did. I have like August and then the day, and I just keep track, like a bullet point track of what I do. So, and then we go back here, and let's see, I have notes from my University of Indianapolis visit. I kept a lot of notes. It was very intense. I have college visits. I was going to organize this in some sort of way, but like I didn't. So, but that doesn't matter because this is a junk journal. You can pretty much put anything you want in here. So, let's see. For this one, I kept to-do lists for the week. I drew flowers because I felt like drawing flowers. I kept a track of like all my college lists in here too. I did some college planning right here. I just decided what I wanted to do. And then, this is also my rant, because I usually don't like ranting too much in this journal, or it wasn't even this journal. I wrote this when I was doing my last journal, and in my last journal, quite frankly, I did not feel like ranting, because so many people looked at my journal. So I refrained from doing that. Now, I don't care. I write whatever I'm feeling because it's my journal. So that's that. I have notes from my oral history project that we did in school. And then it really just turned into a random, let's use crayons and draw things. When I'm on FaceTime, I just like to color stuff in. So that's that. There's another thing in here. And then I have all these free pages that basically I can keep whatever I want to in here. I like to keep this on hand. It always stays on my bookshelf to my side so that if I have any ideas or random things I need to write down, I keep it in there. Gonna pause this video one more time to talk about, I'm not pausing it, but I guess I'm taking a break. You know what I mean. Anyways, I also have a lot of journals on hand. I think I have a lot of journals. But most of them, are just journals that I don't use anymore, but I don't want to throw them away or anything, so I use them for paper. Like, I just rip pages out. I write letters on them. A lot of them have really cool stationery inside of them, so I just, like, rip them out or, like, cut them out. Pro tip, if you don't want to, like, ruin the binding of a journal, and if you mess up on a page, just cut the page out with scissors. You'll save the binding. Anyways, but yeah, so a lot of my journals, if you're not going to use your journal anymore and you don't feel like making another junk journal, I just use it for paper. Like, I type on my typewriter with some. I just like to use it for random notes. You get the point. This is also another one of my junk journals. Yes, I have two. I like this one because it's really small. Fits in my backpack. I have like entries in here. For a while, this notebook I had planned on just using as a break from this journal. So what I mean is this journal kind of served as like a mental health journal for a while. I used it to keep notes on really small entry kind of style writings and I used it to keep track of like my personal feelings about a situation that happened a while ago. But it really just served as like my journey. So now this is also a really good idea for somebody who's going through a tough time, whether it be like an illness or something happened in your family and your family is having problems, or just like stuff that's happening in your personal life. And if you don't want to make a journal, like a full-fledged like I'm gonna journal my life, you can journal big events in your life. If your family is going on vacation, I used to keep a travel journal, which now I don't anymore. I just have all my travels in these notebooks. But that also is a good idea for a journal if you're wanting to journal temporary life events. That's also a really good idea. It also is a very good way to boost your mental health. So then once that event passed in my life, I literally just use it as a junk journal. I have lists. Practicing my Spanish vocab. I went on a job shadow, so I kept notes about that. Kept notes for my college visit to Evansville. I wrote in fancy handwriting. And then I used from like here all the way to like here. For some reason, I wasn't journaling a lot at that point. It was like December, and I just hadn't been keeping up with my journaling, but I made sure to write mini entries in here. So yes, it was tedious when I was trying to finally catch up, but then I could rewrite them in here in much better handwriting. So that being said, this is also one of my junk journals. I have to-do lists in here, senior capstone notes, but yeah. Those are the 3 main types of journals that I currently keep. If you'd like more information on any one of these journals, comment below. I will put more information about a specific journal in a later video if you would like. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to see. You can see it. As for ideas for my next couple of videos, I am going to be doing a specific video on my personal finance journal, and then I do want to do a few more videos about journal specifics. So that being said, if you have any questions or comments, don't be afraid to leave a comment down below. I will answer your comments, so yeah. And then if you enjoy this video, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. I enjoy you guys watching my videos and I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys have a very happy Tuesday and a great rest of your week. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.